Can Ben Tennyson, the kid with literally every superpower on the planet, use magic? Yes, he can. That's the answer. That's it. Okay, that was a bit short, so let's put a little bit more into it, shall we? It's a fact of the show that Ben can use or at least learn magic. That was proven in the episode Ben 10,000 Returns, where future Ben uses magic. So there's no dancing around that fact. So let's ask the more interesting question of why. Why can Ben use magic? And can all humans use magic in this universe? Let's say you were strolling about one day and you got hit by a car or truck and you suddenly found yourself in a fantasy world. You know, it happens. Will you be able to use magic? The answer? Maybe. You see, the writers never actually do clarify much about magic in the show, and of who can use it we know even less. The official sources only say, in order to use magic, you must first have the natural ability to use magic. Now I'll talk more about magic in another video, but for now, let's focus on the topic at hand. What the writers say about magic is pretty vague. Natural ability to use magic, what does that even mean? Let's rewind back to the original series. In the episode A Change of Face, we see Charmcaster try to switch bodies with Ben to get the watch, but accidentally switches with Gwen instead. While in Gwen's body she still has the ability to use magic. The explanation given is that Gwen possessed an aura that allowed her to use magic, and it's implied that not everyone had one, as Charmcaster found herself fortunate that Gwen herself did. Now we know as the Watchers that Gwen is an Anodite, and that's probably why she had that aura. But what about Ben? Charmcaster clearly wanted to switch bodies with him in the first place, so it's safe to assume that she would have done her research and determined if he had the right aura for magic, so she could perform spells while as different aliens, which was her goal all along. But why does Ben have this aura? Is it because he too is descended from an Anodite? No, it's not. Let me clear something up first. From what I can tell about the Anodites, should they ever mate with a physical being, their offspring or grandchild either has something called the spark, meaning which they have the potential to become another Anodite, or they just end up being whatever species the parent who wasn't an Anodite was. This is because Anodites as energy beings don't have DNA. Now what this means is that Ben is fully 100% human because he doesn't have the spark. And yet he has the aura for magic. His uncle Frank, I suspect, is also the same as him, as he too is human with the same aura. Verdona suspected he was an Anodite, but later confirmed he wasn't. So from Charmcaster's statement, which goes in line with the writer's own statement, and from what I've said about Ben, it seems, at least as far as humans are concerned, while they may be capable of performing magic as a species, not everyone may have the aura needed to do magic. There may be further proof of this in the character Drew Saturday. Drew Saturday is a mystic and she has a great interest in the supernatural. She's been all around the world and has seen different types of supernatural phenomena. But despite this and her love of the arcane, she isn't a magic user. Now it could be that she was just never properly taught, which given her keen interest and her love of travel, I find it hard to believe. But it's possible. Or she simply just can't use it on her own. Now all this is totally speculation, but I thought it was worth bringing up. It is also unknown if there's a way to acquire this aura, but seeing as the writers never put that forward, we have to assume you cannot. Now if you found yourself in this universe, all I can say is that there's a strong possibility you will not be able to use magic, as we have to conclude that Charmcaster's original statement was true, and not everyone can use it. But now this is all true for humans on Earth, but what about humans in Ledger Domain? Ledger Domain is the realm of magic and as such it's overflowing with magical energy. Magic is literally everywhere in Ledger Domain, and some humans do live in Ledger Domain, but we really only know Charmcaster and her family, and every member of the family can use magic. Her father and uncle are even regarded as masters in the mystic arts. We can take a leap and say that every human from Ledger Domain can use magic, or at least those born there. Now there's no proof or official source backing this up, but given that almost every other thing living in Ledger Domain can use magic, from animals to even rock creatures, it shouldn't be too much of a stretch to assume that humans can do it as well, or at least there will be a greater number of magic users among them than on Earth. But like I said, there's no word of God, so until the writers tell us what's what, when it comes to humans and magic, this is the best we can draw from. And that brings my video to a close. For my next video, I'll be talking about magic in greater detail. I'll be talking about how to use it and the different types of magic in the Ben 10 universe. But for now, please leave a like, rating, share, and subscribe. And also please feel free to leave a comment, as any feedback is good feedback. Thank you for watching, and see you all later.